welcome to the Sleeper Hold, where there are no disqualifications on the topics and falls count anywhere. Joining us as always, of course, I'm your host, the analyst Robert Leach, joined by my co-hosts, the Kluganator to my far left, and just next to me is the insider, Eric Zeidler, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to start right off on this cold, wintry Thursday evening with some WWE news as always. To start, I think the biggest piece would be The Undertaker has removed all mention of WWE from his social media accounts and is now taking bookings at $25,000 an hour.
Yeah, I don't see that happening much.
Actually, he's already got darn near entire sold out European tour. 4 dates.
Oh, maybe a European tour.
All but the fourth date is sold out so far.
And they're planning something for the United States as well. And you better believe they're probably charging up the hind end.
Couldn't
with
be
those
worse
tickets.
than Shawn Michaels.
No kidding there. But also, I mean, Undertaker, I've been reading that there's no plans for him for WrestleMania, and I believe that's validified now.
Yeah.
It's going to be weird having a WrestleMania without the Taker.
I know it's been, how many years? 20?
Yeah, he's not missed
No, it's been 20...
22.
No, about 24 now.
Oh, man. Makes me feel old.
I think the last one he missed was, WrestleMania X7 or something like that.
No, I think he was in that one.
WrestleMania 2000. I know that for sure.
Sure?
Yeah, he wasn't at 2000. So there you go. The Undertaker, even though he's no longer in WWE, is still going to do his damnedest to be a part-timer. That's real good.
Yeah, he's worked his butt off. He deserves some time off.
Yeah, well, I don't know if we deserve to have
He
to
already
pay
got
$25,000 an hour. Either way.
That's $400 and something a minute.
Yeah.
Get the lube with that.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's extra.
Oh, okay.
And no, you have to buy your own lube.
That's what I just said.
Yeah. Follow along.
I'm sorry. I'm really tired. I got up like a whole 10 minutes earlier than I usually do today.
A whole 10 minutes.
And I've had a lot less caffeine than I usually do in a day too, so that's really taken its toll. Anyway, we've also got the halftime heat from the Super Bowl, which is the worst Super Bowl in quite a while, to be honest with you. Halftime Heat is the most watched match ever in NXT history.
Yep. And it was I watched that over watching Maroon 5, so yeah, the match was great. I enjoyed it.
Unfortunately, the house I was at, there weren't really many wrestling fans, so there was no WWE Network. I could have watched it on my phone, but I didn't want to be like the only one watching it.
Everybody else would have been paying attention to Maroon 5. You'd have been fine.
Everyone was too busy making fun of Adam Levine taking off all his clothes.
He only took off his shirt. He didn't take off everything else.
That might as well be all his clothes in the house I was at. Anyway, we also had the announcement today from WWE of the first ever international superstar shakeup, which means it's being held outside of the United States. It will be in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, or Toronto, wherever they said it is.
In my backyard?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, WWE Backyard Wars will take place
in Jacksonville.
In
Jacksonville.
Bullhorn.
Oh, we're already getting off to a good start.
No kidding there. But then
No offense, Bowman.
We had Monday Night Raw, where we saw Becky Lynch get suspended because she wouldn't go see a doctor, and then she beat the ever-living hell out of Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah, I think it's a work.
Yeah.
It is.
I think, maybe
Guess I'm going to sell the wrong leg.
Maybe they're working for something towards SummerSlam, between Stephanie and Becky.
It's Austin McMahon 2.0.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Except it's Lunch McMahon.
Well, if you think about it, Austin, broken neck, knee brace, Vince McMahon, Becky Lynch. Well, she don't have a broken freaking neck, but knee brace, Stephanie.
Neither did Steve Austin.
Both were suspended.
Steve Austin just had a broken neck. Kurt Angle was the one with the broken freaking neck.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
It's true. It's damn true.
And yeah, while I was thinking about Monday Night Raw, I really could have put that as one of my highlights. We might replace one of these things with it. Okay. Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle teamed up with Braun Strowman right after he was about to retire.
Really?
He was getting ready. He came out on Raw and he was getting ready to hang him up, it seemed like. And then Corbin and McIntyre came to the ring, said, "Listen here. You were never anything to be proud of." Braun Strowman cleaned house, and there was a tag team main event where Corbin and McIntyre won by some stupid disqualification because Braun Strowman would not exit the ring.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
God, I'm glad I fell asleep.
But Strowman still beat the hell out of everyone, as did Kurt Angle. Now we have no idea what Kurt's going to do.
I think old Kurt's got a few more years in him.
At least a few more months in him.
Yeah.
Either way, it was decent, I suppose. It's always good to see Kurt Angle in the ring.
Always.
Always. We said it early tonight.
Indeed.
Lord. Anyway, we also had the Revival win a Four Corners elimination, or it wasn't elimination this time. A Four Corners tag team match, just like they held on SmackDown last week. That also featured Heavy Machinery. Except this time it was Heavy Machinery, Lucha House Party.
Did you notice something on SmackDown while you got that thought, like you're in a trance of thought? You ever notice, like, now on SmackDown, everybody's going down to one name? Like, Andrade Cien Almas is just now Andrade.
Yeah, they are all on SmackDown.
Tucker Knight and Otis Jozovic are just now Tucker and Otis.
I don't think so. I think they're still Tucker Knight and Otis Jozovic. Either way, you just had Andrade. Then you had Rusev, Cesaro.
Sheamus.
Sheamus was always just Sheamus. I think.
Yeah.
No relation to Sheamus McNelson, former 3CW champion.
PWA Hall of Famer.
PWA Hall of Famer. It's not the same Sheamus.
No.
Trust me. Is there anyone? No, we're way off track. I'm sorry.
Yeah, way off.
Here's
the track. We're here.
The Revival won number one contendership against Lucha House Party. Now I'm literally forgetting the other team that was in the match too. I literally just said their name like 2 minutes ago. It was Lucha House Party.
Heavy Machinery.
That's them. And one other team. There's another team there.
The Revival.
Well, yeah, it was a Four Corners.
I'm not even gonna lie, I fell asleep on her.
I didn't get a chance to watch this week.
The only thing that matters is the Revival.
Oh, the B team. They were on TV.
B team,
go.
It's so easy to forget about them now because they're never on TV anymore. But no, then there was SmackDown, where Becky Lynch...
They're not even on the B show anymore.
Becky Lynch slapped Triple H in the mouth. That was great. Wonderful moves, Becky. Working higher and higher toward that raise, aren't you? Or is it that pink slip? I always mix them up.
Probably the raise.
Hopefully. Then we also had Jeff Hardy in a non-title match defeated Daniel Bryan. And Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura, for the first time ever as a tag team, actually did quite well as a cohesive unit and defeated Gallows and Anderson. Very nice. Very nice indeed.
It's a nice.
But now we move on to the Insider.
To me?
To you.
Nobody wants to hear from me.
Yes, they do. Because you were at a New Japan house show this past Saturday.
Yes, I was. Oh my gosh, man, that was a long 5 hours. But yeah, it was a good show. I went into it, I'm not even gonna lie, I went to a very negative attitude about the show because they had to make so many different. They had to basically create a whole new card. There was, unfortunately enough, due to the government shutdown, there was talent that couldn't come over from Japan. So they had to make the best of a bad situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I will go down on record in saying that was one of the best house shows I have ever been to. They did everything possible to make sure everybody went home happy. The show opened up with Shibata, which is, if you don't follow New Japan, Shibata, he was actually he was an up-and-comer, and he suffered a very horrifying injury, and now he has pretty much had to retire from the ring. Now he runs the New Japan dojo in Los Angeles. And he came out to welcome the crowd and thank everybody for coming, and the whole he's New Japan, I'm New Japan, we're all New Japan. Yeah. It was really good. But to get to the matches, the first match was a Young Lions match. It was Carl Fredericks versus Alex Coughlin, and Carl Fredericks picked up the win via submission.
Very nice.
Match number 2 was Lance Archer and Shane Taylor versus Colt Cabana and Jonathan Gresham.
Okay.
And Lance Archer and Shane Taylor picked up the win there.
Jonathan Gresham, I can tell you though, is a very nice competitor.
That's what I hear.
I've met him personally, actually.
Shane Taylor is a very large man, not one I want to run into anywhere. No, he looks big and mean. The next match, match number 3, was Great O'Karn versus Harlem Bravado. I didn't know anything about either one, other than Great O'Karn was a young lion, and the only reason why they were able to get him over here is because he already had a visa. He was already scheduled to work these United States shows. Mm-hmm. Very interesting gimmick. I kind of picture a Japanese version of Papa Shango almost. His movements were very interesting.
That's very interesting now.
Yeah.
Very curious. What's his name again?
Great O'Karn.
Great O'Karn.
Match number 4 was Marty Scurll against another young lion from the LA Dojo, Clark Connors, and Marty Scurll picked up the win with a crossface chicken wing submission.
Very nice.
Then they had a 10-minute intermission.
Of course.
Match number 6 was Brody King versus Jeff Cobb.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought I'd see a guy Cobb's size be able to do the things he was doing. Like, he was doing sentons and flips. Stuff like you see a guy like Jake Lander do.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's also very interesting.
Yes, very. But Jeff Cobb picked up the win via pinfall. And then that brings us to the main event.
Main event time.
6-man tag, elimination style. Now, this was what made the match interesting to me. There's 2 ways it could be eliminated. Toss over the top, pinfall. The last 2 left in the ring was Juice Robinson and Rocky Romero. And Juice Robinson picked up the win for his team, Lifeblood. Which, if you follow Ring of Honor, they introduced them fairly recently. And then after the show, to make sure everybody went home happy. The tag team best friends, Chuck Taylor and I just said his name earlier, Trent Beretta, went out to the New Japan merchandise booth to sign autographs, take pictures, kiss babies, autographing a bunch of Chaos merchandise. Actually,
at least they weren't kissing hands and shaking babies.
No. Said it before I could.
And what was weird is they had 2 sets of merchandise booths. One that was all New Japan stuff. You could tell because the pricing was all in Japanese yen.
Mm-hmm.
Mental note: New Japan, come up with some stuff for fat guys like me. Yeah,
I can relate.
The only
I think all 3 of us can relate to that.
Oh yeah.
The only shirt that they had that were Eric Friendly. I'll just put it like that. Eric Friendly was the special tour shirt, which for each date of this tour they did special shirts. The one for Nashville they did the guitar and the lion mark. Yeah. And then High Spots had their own little merchandise booth, which was had a wide variety of New Japan merch.
Mm-hmm.
But Rocky Romero came out after the match. I actually hopped over the guardrail. Came out, started shaking hands, thanking everybody for coming.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then, as Ed mentioned, best friends, they were at the New Japan merch booth and signing autographs, shaking hands, kissing babies.
Kissing hands and shaking babies?
No.
I think I already made that joke.
Yeah. That's...
I'm just confused.
But, yeah, I mean, the action was awesome. Everything went smooth as silk.
Smooth.
Had a great time. Did not get my Nashville hot chicken, which
damn.
But I did get some really awesome barbecue.
You can get some knockoff Nashville hot chicken. It's called Springfield Lukewarm Chicken down at the KFC, non-sponsored.
No, Rob. There's a huge difference. Like down there, hot chicken is an art. But I did have some really
your horseshoes are.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, we actually talked to our Lyft driver when we were going to the show about horseshoes, and he was talking to us about hot chicken.
Well, there you go.
Got to see a lot of cool things. Got to see their version of the Parthenon, which was awesome, and also got to see the stadium where the Tennessee Titans play.
That's
big
weird.
stadium. I'm surprised they haven't tried hitting that for WrestleMania yet.
You never know.
Yep.
What the future.
That's how I know when I went to Denver, we rode on the train and we were going past Mile High Stadium at one point over there in Coors Field.
Yeah.
I feel like the reason they're not going to hold a WrestleMania there is because it's called Mile High Stadium.
No, it's just the air's.
You could just have Rob Van Dam main event.
Lord. You're winner of the Royal Rumble.
No,
as well.
it's Mile High Stadium, not I'm high at work stadium.
That's all I've got.
Main event's going to be RVD, Matt, and Jeff Hardy.
With Matt Riddle as a special guest referee.
Yeah. I could make a lot of other jokes, but I'm not going to.
Yeah. But, everybody at the show was nice and very approachable and very grateful for people coming out. I definitely think the loudest reaction of the night was strangely enough, for Marty Scurll. Like, that crowd was 100% behind the villain.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Everybody loves a villain.
Right.
Nowadays, at least.
Yeah, I mean, what happened to his best friends? I mean, his friends they're all dead.
Yeah. All my friends are dead. Oh, sorry, wrong song.
You gotta be back to the Atlas.
We're back.
What's it like on the
gentlemen.
local scene there, Rob?
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the independent section of our program. Today, I will begin by covering the next indie show that I will be working, at least the next indie show around this area that I know of. Pro Wrestling Force, February 17th, at Riverton High School, or is it Riverton Middle School? I think it's the high school. In Riverton, Illinois. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be seeing Jake Something take on Evil. We're going to be seeing The Dirty take on Lotus. We're going to be seeing Daga take on Myron Reed.
Actually, I think I've seen an update to that, actually.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think, let me access my interweb.
The insider is going to get an inside look on everything. We've also got Tootie Lynn Ramsey and Savannah Stone taking on Sophie King and Jody Threat. We will see a 6-man tag team match. Kevin Giza, Eric Alonzo, I believe his name is, and Matt Kenway will take on Gary J. Adam Slade and Michael Elgin. We will also be seeing a 0-1 USA Junior Heavyweight Championship match as Jake Parnell defends against Sheldon Jean at this show. And then there are 2 round 2 matches of the Pure Wrestling Championship Tournament. Logan James takes on Aaron Williams in one of them, and in the other one, Ace Perry will take on Jake Lander. Then we will move on to the 3rd Pro Wrestling Force show, where the first ever champion will be crowned in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Excuse me. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I cannot wait for Pro Wrestling Force. Then a week later, we go on to 0-1 USA in Mattoon, Illinois at 1701 Wabash Avenue in Mattoon at the Burgess Osborne Auditorium. Doors open at 6 o'clock, show times at 7. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be seeing, it is the Chris Cunningham Invitational. Chris Cunningham, I believe, is either a close friend or the owner of 0-1 USA. Chris Cunningham is a heavily handicapped gentleman, of course, and he always loves to have fun at 0-1 USA shows. So much so that there is a benefit show just for him every year called the Chris Cunningham Invitational, which will be held February 23rd in Mattoon. We'll be seeing Chainsaw King taking on Shank Barzini. Reign Victoria defends the 0-1 USA Women's title against Laney Luck. We will see Viking War Party, Alex Herzog and Jake Parnell, take on the heavyweight champion Christian Rose and the Filth King Nick Brubaker. We'll be seeing match 3 in the best of 5 series. Oliver Kane, who has currently 1 win in the series, will take on Frank Wyatt, who currently has 2 wins in the series. We've also got a 2019 Proving Ground Pro, Buckley Cup qualifier. Craig Mitchell will take on CJ Esparza. And also the PGP Tag Team titles will be on the line as the Lowlifes, Jordan Perry and Joey O'Reilly, defend their titles against Devin and Mason Cutter, the Hooligans. In what will be a fantastic matchup.
Definitely.
I'm sure. But then, the night after that, we go to Collinsville for Glory Pro. I believe the show starts at 3 o'clock p.m. down there. It's going to be a lot of fun. We see Sei Sheen taking on Su Yung. We will see the tag titles defended. Su Yung.
Oh.
Yeah, she's been on, if you've watched TNA, or, well, what do they call themselves now?
Impact.
Okay, yeah.
I think.
Yeah, she's like the evil version of Rosemary.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't know what that means. I don't watch Impact. Sorry.
I catch every now and then, Pluto TV app.
Yeah. Club. We've also got the Tag Team Championship on the line as the besties in the world, Matt Fitchett and Davey Vega, defend their titles against Stephen Wolf and Myron Reed, the team that they took the titles off of last month. We will see the Crown of Glory Championship defended as Kurt Stallion defends against Jody Fleisch. We see the 4-star. Now, this is a match that is subject to change, just as every match is in professional wrestling, because KLD, Kevin Lee Davidson, is injured with, I believe, a torn bicep. He just recently had surgery, and he's in a bad way. But the match was announced, and maybe KLD will be replaced by his other No New Friends partner, Mike Outlaw. We will see the 4-star heroes, Chris Castro and Matt Nix, take on No New Friends, which is Danny Adams, and it was supposedly KLD, but who knows, it might be Mike Outlaw at this point, or maybe the match will be changed up altogether. We've also got a 2 out of 3 falls match as Paco Gonzalez takes on Eddie Kingston.
Is he related to Kofi?
No. He's not Jamaican.
No, he's not Jamaican. Puerto Rican, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah.
He seems like he's from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
was just going off the name.
Either way, we've also got a fatal 4-way match. Jake Parnell versus O'Shea Edwards versus AJ Gray versus Jake something. And never mind, Mike Outlaw will not be replacing KLD because he will be facing Hakim Zayn at this show as well. And finally, Jake Lander will be taking on Sheldon Jean in another match on the card. It's a stacked card, and it's going to be a lot of fun, most definitely.
Yeah. Sounds like a very good card.
And then we move on to PWA, which is fantastic. March 2nd, 2019. The 8th Street Gym, 1401 North 8th Street in Springfield, Illinois. Doors open 6:30 p.m. Showtime 7 o'clock p.m. Adults are $12. Kids 6 to 12 are $10. Kids 5 and under are always free. It's going to be a lot of fun. We see the PWA debut of Ark Williams as she takes on Sophie King. We see Harley take on the debuting Brooke Valentine. And in the main event, Casey Jackson defends the Regional Heavyweight Championship against 24K Jimmy Kerr.
Interesting.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Got a lot of debuts.
Of course.
Got to keep things fresh.
And then, of course, we've got March 16th will be UWC, United Wrestling Coalition. We see March 30th, 01 USA takes over for the second year in a row the Decatur Civic Center in Decatur, Illinois, where we will be seeing special guests The Boogeyman and Abyss in attendance, and a steel cage women's title matches. At this point, it will be Reign Victoria defending against Savannah Stone.
Awesome.
And a lot more shows coming up as well. March 31st, Glory Pro back in Collinsville. I do believe Pentagon Jr. and Ray Phoenix will be in the house for that one.
2 new signings to AEW, too.
Of course.
Speaking of AEW.
No kidding there.
Yeah, nice little tie-in.
There you go.
All right. Yeah, well, as anybody knows, tonight's their night that they're announced. You know, they're having their little pool party for their show for Double or Nothing. There was an announcement made earlier that they are now, in addition to partnering with I'm going to pronounce this right, OWE, Oriental Wrestling Entertainment. They are also partnering with AAA out of Mexico.
Very nice.
Yeah.
You know, my uncle owns AAA. AAA Automotive over on Stanton Avenue here in Springfield.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored, unfortunately.
I did not know that.
Neither did I.
Now we all know it.
If I'm in wrestling, I can just go up to someone and be like, "Hey, my uncle owns AAA," and they'll think that's amazing until I tell them that it's just the name of a car shop.
But see, most people when they think AAA, that they think of the the people that come and help you fix your car when you're stranded on the side of the road.
The Automotive Club.
Yeah, the Automotive Club. Now they think of AAA Automotive Service.
Also,
which there's like 3 plugs now.
PGP returns to the Petersburg Fire Department April 13th for the Ryan Buckley Memorial Tournament. I do know that there will be a franchise title match, and I don't believe KLD will be able to defend it. As of right now, KLD is still the franchise champion. However, I wouldn't be surprised if somehow that title gets vacated in the future.
Definitely, especially if the bicep injury.
Of course. But no, rumblings I hear, if KLD's unable to compete, there may be some sort of four-way matchup. You never know. We'll have to see.
Ooh,
in the coming weeks.
Or the man that's just collecting titles all over the place. That vacant guy.
Vacant?
Yeah, the vacant.
I think he might be a future champion, at least for a few minutes while that four-way match
that
happens.
man's held titles. He's been not a Raw general manager.
He has.
Held titles all over the place. United States, Europe, Asia, Mexico.
Right.
Japan.
Hey, he's even held the PWA Regional Championship for a short amount of time.
I know. That man gets around.
And I believe he's also held the heavyweight title before.
He was the first person to have the
heavyweight
before
title?
Sage Ramsey. Yeah.
That's right. And I'll tell you what, he defeated Guy Smith for the title.
Wow.
That's crazy. We're losing it. I believe that's all we have.
Did you go over results from the last show?
Yeah.
How could I ever forget that?
That's it. He's fired.
Oh.
Priest, we need you back. Someone made a boo-boo.
Get his diaper.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, PWA did have a show this past weekend.
But you wouldn't know that because Rob forgot to tell you.
You wouldn't know that because I'm stupid. I'm running on literally one Monster Energy that took place about 7:30 in the morning. And that's it.
Playing the world's tiniest fiddle.
Can't even see it. Anyway, PWA Unpresidential at the 8th Street Gym. I'm not going to tell you the whole spiel because you don't need to know it because it already happened.
Attitude Inc. Still on sale, by the way.
Yeah, they are. You can buy tickets.
You can buy late tickets.
You can buy tickets to go to PWA Envy and buy the Unpresidential DVD. Now, Crime Fighter, you have to have it done by Envy. You're welcome.
Well, I think that was a hell of a way to start the beginning of the show, though. We have a new commissioner.
We have a new commissioner. Attitude Inc. and KC Jackson and Tom Arson entered with Stephanie King and said, "We demand Stephanie King is named the president." Billy Alexander made his entrance and said, No. I'm the new commissioner. Billy Alexander is not me. Billy Alexander's only been fighting for this job for how long?
Quite a while.
For any consideration, I think he'd be a good...
Since before Archie was removed.
Since before Archie was named president. Are you kidding me?
Well, that too.
Maybe since before Commissioner Spencer Powers was removed from office. Now we can say that. Either way, Billy Alexander's the new commissioner. He's now our boss. It feels weird to say. I don't like that. I'm not going to call him my boss. He's the commissioner of PWA, however. Yeah, so... Sorry, I had to come back from my mind, which is slowly disintegrating by the second.
Rob is suffering from caffeine deprivation.
Kids, stay in school.
I'm still in school. I'm just not doing very well in it right now. Either way, we're really off the rails. The opening contest was a tag team match where Sweet Street, IJ Sweet and Johnny Kincaid, accompanied by Candy Deluxe, defeated Handsome Dan Liplock and Big Sexy JP, accompanied by the Model Bishop. And
Sweet Street was accompanied by Candy Deluxe.
I just said that.
Oh.
It's okay. It's alright. But no, so The model Bishop invited Candy Deluxe into the ring after the match and said, well, Sweet Street may have won, but are you going to beat me in a posing competition? A modeling competition?
It was a dance-off, I thought.
A dance-off? Something like that.
Yeah, it was a dance-off.
Candy Deluxe starts dancing to his music, and Stephen Bishop said, nope. Beat
Cheap
the hell
shot
out
from
of him.
behind.
That's right. And Candy Deluxe got hurt. IJ and Johnny helped him up. And now Candy Deluxe has some real problems with the model Bishop. Also, however, I can tell you that Sean Orleans earned, I believe, his first victory in PWI. Perhaps. Maybe his second.
I don't keep track of the stats.
Me neither.
But I know
One
he
man,
does.
there's
But
one
you're
man
supposed to
who
be
we
the
could call
analyst.
up.
You're supposed to know these things.
I'm just a ring announcer at this point. I analyze people's weights and where they're from.
Robbie, the announcer Leach.
The announcer, Robert Leach. The has-been, Robert Leach. But no.
Law Breach around?
I don't know. Is Law Breach around?
I don't know.
Either way, it's... But no, Sean Orleans beat Brian Ely by disqualification after Rip Mystic slid in the ring and attacked Sean Orleans, hit him with a DDT.
It was an impaler.
Impaler DDT. And told Brian Ely, listen, I'm going to have to show you how to put the correct tactics to use in a tag team match next month. So Rip Mystic returns to in-ring competition with PWA at Envy.
And all I can say is it's about time.
Yeah.
It's been 6 years now. Okay, 5. It's been 5 years since Rip Mystic's been in the ring.
Sure about that?
I'm sure about that.
Positive?
It was 2014. About January 2014 was Rip Mystic's last actual match. I think. He might have wrestled in February and March. I don't think he did.
Historical representations of Robert Leach are due to his lack of caffeine today. Please send all comments and suggestions to him directly.
Really should have got a Mountain Dew before the show today, I'm not going to lie. But no, so Sean Orleans wins by disqualification. Rip Mystic and Brian Ely in tag team action next month. Who do you think they'll face? Sweet Street? Probably.
I hope it's Attitude Inc.
I don't think it'll be Attitude Inc.
Really?
I don't think so. At least not yet. You know, Brian Ely and Rip Mystic have never been a tag team. A full-time tag team.
But you never know. They could have that instant, like, boom, chemistry.
I mean, they do if they're facing each other, so hopefully they do if they're teaming with one another as well. The third match... There's that look again. I don't remember. Luckily, the good old analyst, with his failing memory...
is not fully prepared today.
No. He is, however. He is, because he has a picture.
Really prepared?
He has a picture of the card. He just has to find said picture of said. There it is. Jimmy Carrot defeated Tom Arson. What's a good man? This is a cluster. I'm sorry.
See, usually we're going like this, but tonight we're just...
What's next? Technical issues?
No, next was intermission.
You sure?
Where I'm surprised there wasn't technical issues after I sang Happy Birthday.
What was that? Oh, crap.
Oh.
We lost feed. What?
What?
What the hell?
Okay, it's back.
I blame.
I'm not in charge of the technical stuff.
So now you're pinning that on me?
I'm
Wow,
just saying, I'm not the camera guy.
Right under the
Yeah,
bus.
really.
I'm the host. I'm not the camera guy. No, after intermission, I was surprised there wasn't technical difficulties with my microphone. After I sang Happy Birthday to you and about 17 and a half other people.
To him or to me?
to you.
Oh, okay. I say he wasn't even there, so I didn't know what you were looking at him when you said that.
I was in
because you
faraway lands.
You threatened to change the tone on my microphone if I sang you happy birthday.
For those that don't know the story, the very first time that Rob became our ring announcer in Beardstown, I had some fun with the levels on his microphone the whole night.
Yeah, it sounded great.
Had him convinced before the night was over that his voice was actually cracking. It was going higher at some points, going lower.
Yeah, it was a trip to listen to me announce Magnus, who, however, after intermission was over at this show, was defeated by Cardini. That was fun. Then we also were supposed to see Victor Analog and Hada challenge for the Tag Team Championship against Attitude Inc. Well, Victor Analog was unable to be at this show, and Attitude Inc. said we're taking the night off, and Commissioner Alexander said, no. One of you has to wrestle Hada. And so Hada didn't wait for them to make their choice. Hada slid in the ring and attacked them both, and it ended up being Guy Smith in the match. And this match was about 1 minute and 15 seconds before Spencer Powers got involved.
Now, with you being the analyst, is that the quickest match in PWA history?
I don't know.
I can't recall.
I can't either.
It's the
He
quickest match
analyzes
that I
things.
can recall in PWA history.
Okay.
I can tell you that much. Unless you want to count up all the times President Archie has restarted a match and it ended in about 5 seconds. Either way, I can tell you it's the shortest match in recent history. Next up, we saw Sophie King defeat Harley in women's competition. And in the main event, KC Jackson, with the help of Tom Arson, defeated Truck Thompson to retain the regional heavyweight title. And that was that. It was a wonderful show. It was a wonderful time for most. And
A wonderful time for everyone.
for most. There was a lot of situations taking place that we won't get into.
But the fans, they were
The
excited.
fans matter. The fans were excited.
Did they blow the roof off the joint, or just kind of...
You know, they didn't seem that excited for the main event. I was kind of disappointed in them.
And hopefully next week we might have some kind of announcement. Hopefully.
We're hoping. Hopefully got some knowledge to drop.
That's right.
Concerning Grand Wrestling Spectacle.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. And you know, if you've been to previous Grand Wrestling Spectacles, you know, there's always been a surprise appearances.
Well, it's not usually a surprise. We usually
usually
promote
announce
them ahead
it
of time.
A few
Because
months
we want people
ahead.
to get there.
Either way, it's
Special guests.
hopefully there will be an announcement next week about the spectacle. Hopefully there will be a lot more to talk about next week. Maybe there will even be a guest on the show next week. Besides the three of us. Not that the three of us aren't lovely or anything.
These people love us.
I know. We're the greatest hosts in history besides Priest.
I think, never mind.
See, I'm not trying to leave anyone out here.
Well, Priest is part of the team. Just
Exactly.
need a tag.
I know. If he wants to tag in, he's always welcome back. He doesn't even need to tag in. He can just show up.
Wow, tornado tag rules.
That's right. So he can run in, and I can still be legal. You know.
Yeah.
Either way, I believe that's about all we have time for here tonight. We have about 12 minutes left in our running time. But that's about all we have to talk about here on this week's edition of the Sleeper Hold. I've been the analyst Robert Leach for the Kluganator and the insider Eric Zeidler. It's been a lot of fun. The insider Eric Zeidler.
Insider.
The insider Eric Zeidler.
Oh, there went our PG rating.
Right out the window.
We'll see you next week on the Sleeper Hold, where there are no disqualifications on the topics and falls count anywhere. Everybody say goodbye and good night.
Goodbye and good night.
Goodbye and good night.